Welcome to Sun Takeover Day 2025. So we do some introductions first. My name is Melissa and Elisabet.
My name is Freddie Botha.
Hello, I'm Melissa Robertson. I am a designated clinical officer for SEND.
Hello, I'm Elisabet Eldred. I'm deputy designated clinical officer for SEND.
One of the questions I would like to ask you guys is, how will you make sure that every adjustment or support that are promised is actually delivered consistently and not just written in a plan?
So I think the most important thing there is about sort of health accountability and thinking about, when we promise to do things that we then follow through. And we do that in various ways to demonstrate what we're doing through, you said we did campaigns and various things like that, but also various action plans. So for example, Elisabet and I have got a DCO work plan that we are measured against, and we set timescales against that, and we have sort of various programs and things on there that are informed by what our experts by experience tell us that they need. And we are assessed against that both by health providers and our commissioners, but also by the local authority, and it goes to various SEND quality assurance boards and things like that. So in that way, we sort of keep track of what we're doing for the year, and we plan sort of next year's program in conjunction again with families, with parents, with stakeholders like schools and things to see what we're doing for the following year. So I think in our small way, that's how we guarantee that we stay on track and make sure that we make the difference in the things that we can.
Thank you.
So what is one change you will commit to making in your role over the next 6 months to ensure that young people with SEND are actively involved in decisions about their support in the future?
So I think we have worked quite a lot on having a plan that is around reasonable adjustments, so each and every child, young individual can expect that in any health service and wherever they go to meet a health professional, they can tell said health professional what they would like to see happen for them in a given scenario or an appointment, and so things can be set up right for them. And so that has been rolled out for all health professionals in Hertfordshire, and we're now working on a sort of young people facing sort of version 2, so you could all have more say into what you would like to see in it.
Thank you. Another question I'd like to ask you guys are, what will you do to help stop negative attitudes so young people with hidden disabilities feel safe, included and understood?
So what we do a lot around is training. So we offer training through the SEND Academy, but we also do training of our health services in SEND awareness and how to sort of support young people also outside of the EHCP process. Alongside that, we're working with our learning and development teams across our various organisations to make sure, again, that those attitudes and things are considered when our staff are working with people with hidden disabilities. But again, I think the other thing that we do is we have a lot of training programs to schools, through our speech and language therapy teams, through our mental health support teams at school to upskill, I suppose, that wider the children and the cohort of staff members out there that are education staff, just to think about various things that children might need, for example, for their mental health.
Thank you.
So what is one big action you will take right now to make sure that everything you plan for people in school or in the council is actually based on what we want to achieve in our lives, not just what's easy to provide?
So the big action is to listen and try to really hear what you all want. So Melissa and I go along to youth council to talk to sort of young people that attend there and really to hear what they want to see and hear. We also sometimes, Melissa has mentioned our work plan that we have. We sometimes bring questions that we want to explore further within the work plan, and then propose to the members of the Youth Council to hear what they say and think, and then adjust a little bit potentially the sort of key lines of inquiry that we have. So that's the big action that we will definitely continue to follow and interact. So interact and listen, hear what young people are saying.
Thank you. I also want to ask, what will you guys do to make schools or services feel like a safe place for young people who master difficulties all day and feel exhausted or overwhelmed?
I think one of the most important things is probably through our mental health services to go into schools, both at like a targeted level and a universal level, so that we can upskill everybody around what overload might look like, what masking might look like, and then support, I think, for young people, for professionals and for families through the new neurodiversity hub that's been launched, and to think about how they can access that so that schools and services can become safer places for our young people. I think, again, through the reasonable adjustments work and be having a resource that families and young people can use to start those conversations with the professionals or the organisations or the teams that they're working with throughout their journey, be that for the first appointment or for sort of any intervention, and then also around discharge, what makes that transition easier when you're leaving a service, so that you can feel safe that your needs will still be met in your wider environment. So those are the sorts of things that we think will make a difference for young people, but obviously we always value feedback as to how those things are going, either through the services or directly through us. You know, we don't know how we're doing unless we hear back at the end of any journey. So,
Thank you.
When you have meetings about support, or when you write a new rule, how will you guarantee that the young people's voices are actually heard, and guarantee their feelings and ideas are used and not just written down and ignored?
We are really lucky, aren't we, to have you. We have the experts and experience. We have Voices of the East, and we have the youth councils to listen to. So again, as mentioned before, if we are thinking, or if there are ideas shared with how improvements can be, if we draw up a proposal or a draft of a plan, we can take it to you, we can take it to the youth councils, and we can get feedback on it, and it can be adjusted and discussed, because it is really important. We can also then, even after rollout, see feedback and see how things are going, really make sure that we adjust and listen and hear what you're saying.
Thank you. I believe you guys have already sort of answered half this question, answered this question in my second question I asked. Well, I was going to ask, how will you make sure that staff who don't understand hidden disabilities get the training and support they need, rather than leaving young people to explain themselves over and over again?
So obviously through training and things like that, but I also want to say about the health passport that we're rolling out, and it's a shared document that can be used across any sort of health organisation, that details the things you need, the access you need when you're going to hospital, the reasonable adjustments you might need, what sort of routines and things, so that you can have one shared place to be able to share it with all your various health teams. And the idea behind that is that you tell your story once, so you take the document with you, or hopefully in the future we have an app that people can access, so that you're able to take that with you either ahead of the meeting or during the meeting. You can say, well, here's my health passport, here's the bits I want you to pay attention to, or ideally that it's saved on your record somewhere, so that somebody can just have a look at that before they've even met you. So I think in that way we're trying to tell your story once. We're trying to really get that message across our health services, but it is a challenge.
Thank you very much.
If we say something you're doing isn't working for us, what is your clear plan to quickly stop that thing and fix it and check back with us to make sure the new way is better?
So again, we have asked and we seek feedback. We want feedback, and it's always gratefully received. If there is specific tasks that are quite easy to answer, there should always be, for every health service or any health professional you come across, there should be a way to provide feedback, and there should be a dedicated person and or contact that come back to you with a response, so that if there is bigger themes and things that filter through that has more of a system change impact, then it potentially could take a bit longer. That is not saying that if you propose a change, there shouldn't be feedback regularly and regular updates following that. And again, there should always be a place to come back to for a contact, for an update, and a named person and a contact to ask.
Thank you.
That concludes your questions for today.
Yes, it does.
Have we had any questions online? Not currently. So I guess it's also a chance to ask the experts anything you might like to ask them, if you have any questions for them, and then we can close off the live. So would you like to know anything about Freddie or Timi?
Yes, I'd like to know a little bit about yourselves. Anything you'd want to share? How are you enjoying the role?
Yeah, I'm actually rather enjoying the role. I'm learning things, and I am really happy to help young people who's going through difficult times or difficult times in life. I can try and we can try and make it easier for them and support them.
Tell me, what's your favourite part of the role?
I feel like it's quite a rewarding role. So I've done quite a lot of training videos for the Send Academy. So I was previously an intern last year with the Send QA team. So yeah, whilst doing some training videos, I believe I've got feedback from one of the parents that has the same disability as me, and she thought that some of the training stuff was quite valuable for her to help support her child. So yeah, I feel like it's just quite rewarding.
We absolutely love having you around. You definitely add a lot of valuable challenge into everything that we do, and that real experience of what it's like on the other side of anything that is sort of put into place by us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.